Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another quick transfer talk update, latest Aston Villa news, and it's more focused on outgoings today. We've had some news of one or two fringe players that are looking to be moved out of the club, and then one or two rumours of players of interest in players, again from the Saudi league, for particularly for one of them, and then one absolutely crazy bid, which I will talk about towards the end of this video. That is just. Yeah, it'll blow your mind. So stick around for that and let me know all your thoughts in the comments on all of the players that we chat about. Before we get stuck into it, we are well over 2,000 subscribers, almost at 2,100. We have got a 2,000 subscriber giveaway very, very soon. So to be in with a shout, make sure you hit that subscribe button, but also please continue to support our channel by hitting that like button. Help us spread the word of the channel. It's getting more and more views, more and more likes every single day. So your help and support is massively, massively appreciated. So onto the players. So it looks like the Villa his time at Villa for Morgan Sanson is pretty much over. He is going to Nice in the French league. Obviously had a loan at Strasbourg last season, and they did quite well by all accounts. But going to Nice, on a loan option with a view to buy. So, all the best to him. Hopefully he has a good season and then can move for a fee. Hasn't really worked out for him at Villa for whatever reason. I think there's three managers, maybe even four managers that he's been played under, and none of them have really fancied him, whether it be injury, whether it be positionally, whether it be attitude. I don't know, but no real manager has really fancied him. And his solitary goal came in that shocking performance from Villa against Stevenage, and where actually Sanson played okay, I think, but the rest of the team let him down. But just hasn't really hit it at Villa, and I think it was an 18 million signing, and I think that's going to be one that we'll have to cut our losses on. But yeah, if we can get some money for him at the end of the season, that wouldn't be a bad, a bad shout, but obviously be a loss in the end. Um, Another player who is looking like he's leaving for money, for actual transfer fee, is Keenan Davis. It's looking like Luton is his destination, and it's looking like a deal that's going to be between 4 and 7 million. Now, again, I'm glad that we're getting money for these fringe players, and it's always good to have players that have value. And I think for an FFP perspective, that wouldn't be too bad for us as well in terms of the kind of what goes against that. I think we obviously signed him from Biggleswade, but a lot of his development was done through Villa, so I think that may contribute. But for me, Keenan Davis always had real potential. I think he had all the attributes to be a really good centre forward, but injuries and one or two other things have stopped him. And even when he's gone out on loan, I think he had a really good loan spell at Nottingham Forest. And then I think the Watford one last season could have been really propelled him to be competing for a first team spot this season, but injury and loss of form kind of stopped that. So I think Luton is a good move for him. Obviously, could reunite with Marvelous Nakamba, and he probably fits a profile of striker that they really like. He has played in the Premier League, so has that bit of experience, and he's probably in that kind of bracket of top Championship player. Could threaten in the Premier League a little bit and get you 4 or 5 goals, but also be a real nuisance for defenses. So yeah, it goes with our best wishes. If he does move on to Luton, I think it's a good move for him. I think it's a good move for the club. Obviously, we were talking maybe 10, 12, 14 million last season, but if we can get 4 to 7 million, I don't think that's a bad shout and a bad return. And we were talking on the show last night. If you sell 4 or 5 fringe players for that sum of money, then it soon adds up to the 15, 20, 25 million mark, and that all of a sudden that fee that you've paid for Moussa Diaby doesn't look crazy. So yeah, a good move in terms of Keenan Davis. A couple of others on the move out is Wesley is looking like he is on the way out to Watford. again, Wesley's had a really difficult time of it, and had difficult time on loan with various other clubs. I think Levante, Brazilian clubs he's been at, Internacional, Bruges, even went back to Bruges and had a real difficult time. I think he scored 2 goals last season at Levante. But pictures of him back at Villa look like he's lost a real load of weight. Maybe he's getting his fitness back, but since that injury, he suffered against Burnley, in that season where we nearly got relegated, where he managed to stay up. And had he kind of not got that injury, maybe he would have gone on to score 4 or 5 and got double figures that season. Who knows? Because he was already on 6. But he needs to get out from Villa, and if we can get any type of fee for him, or again a loan with an option to buy, then I think that'll be the best move for all parties. And yeah, I think Watford have signed a few Brazilian players in over recent years, and maybe that's the link that we're looking at exploring. So yeah, three players there that look like they're on the way out. I'm not sure. As I say, we know the fees on Keenan. I'm not sure on Wesley and on Morgan Sanson whether we get a loan fee up front and then the fees at the end. But let me know in your comments on those guys who are potentially or almost definitely moving out the club. Now, a couple of players that have attracted some interest. This Ollie Watkins story, Chelsea now reportedly interested in him, and these rumours won't really go away. He hasn't committed to signing an extension to his contract. Definitely within his right to do that. He scored 16 goals in total last season. He's obviously a man in form. He scored 2 in pre-season this year. Unai Emery has really kind of simplified his game, and he seems to have really taken that to heart, and he's doing well. Maybe he's leaving his options open to see what happens in January, or even towards the end of this season. So I don't know if he's going to commit to signing a new deal, and he might even wait to see how Villa do this season. So I think the kind of I think the kind of jury's out at the moment with what he's going to do. And when clubs like Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal are sniffing around, I think we can command a fee. He can command higher wages. He can obviously keep his place in the shop window. So it's a bit of a difficult one, because he does get criticised from Villa fans, but he's also had a great season. He does miss a lot of chances. Is he going to get to that 2025 goal mark? Would he do that at a better club, or would he be kind of struggle? These are all questions that Ollie Watkins, I'm sure, will be asking himself, and his agent will be looking at. But we know how kind of scarce good strikers are in the Premier League, and he's obviously scored double figures in each of his seasons in the Premier League. So those players are really valuable, and all the work that he puts in. So look, it's for me, I don't think the rumours are going to go away. I think he's going to be talked about quite a lot. I don't think he will move in this transfer window. I was saying on the show last night, to get a deal done of a player of Ollie Watkins' capabilities, who we're probably not looking to sell, takes a long time. Even when players are leaving clubs, look at Maddison, look at Harvey Barnes. It still takes 5-6 weeks to get that process done, and we're already 3 weeks from the start of the season. I know it's the end of August that the transfer window ends, but it does take time to get these deals done, especially when players aren't necessarily available. So I don't see it being done this window unless a crazy bid comes in, and obviously we've got backups, we've got options to come in, but I do think that it's one to watch over the next window and potentially next season if he doesn't sign a new contract pretty soon. Leon Bailey is attracting interest from Al Nasser in the Saudi League. Again, look, Leon Bailey divides opinion with Villa fans. I think if he gets an offer, if we get an offer that's crazy, and he gets a salary offer that's ridiculous, then he would, I'm sure, have a look at it. Diaby had a look at it, chose Villa, was convinced by Unai Emery. Is Leon Bailey going to look at it and say, well, I'm not guaranteed a place? Am I going to take that and take inspiration from that and really fight for my place? Or am I going to go to Saudi and take a huge paycheck? And for me, I'll be disappointed if he does go, because I think he gives us real directness. He gives us options, particularly at home, and particularly at the start of games, and then you could dovetail really well with Diaby and really create a real strike force that would be feared. But this Saudi league is it means business, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. And if we could get anywhere near 30 million, it's something that I'm sure the board would look at. And finally, the craziest of offers has come in from Inter Milan for one Emi Martinez. And wait for it, it's not 50 million, which you'd still reject. It's not even 40 million. It's not even 30 million. It is 15 million euros that the first bid has come in. Now I don't know what part of his body that they're working on, that whether it's his right hand or his left hand, but it's certainly not going to be entertained by Aston Villa in any way, shape, or form. He is the world's best goalkeeper at the moment. He's a World Cup winning goalkeeper. You've got to be looking at 70 to 80 million. He's at the prime age. And look, Champions League clubs will come in for him, but at 15 million, it's crazy. And I don't know whether it's Daniel Levy doing the negotiations for them, but that is just an absolute derisory offer for Emi Martinez. But look, maybe that window has been opened for clubs to bid for him. Who knows? But I certainly think Emi will, again, a player we're not looking to sell. Are we going? Are there clubs talking to his representatives? Of course there are. We're not stupid enough to see that, but deals take time, and I don't see him moving in the window. I think we've done it well. I think the players that we want to move on, we will move on. They will get money in, but I do think we need to watch out for one or two bids coming in for some of our main players, and getting into the Conference League group stages will be massive. Starting the season really well will be huge. So there is some pressure on, and yeah, that's remains to be seen. So yeah, that's it. There hasn't been too much on incomings, but we will report back on anything that we hear or that I hear. As I said before, we're well over 2K subscribers, which is phenomenal. Thank you so much for your support. If we can hit 3K before the start of the season, that would be amazing. But you can help us do that. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to help us continue to grow. I'll be back with possibly a match reaction, definitely a 2,000 subscriber competition, and also match previews for our upcoming friendlies, and possibly a talking tactics show with Gareth. So do look out on the channel. Make sure you got those notifications turned on. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.